This morning, as you can see, I am joined by two very special guests. Michelle Diffendorfer, who is president and a shareholder of the law firm of Lewis, Longman, Walker, and Patrick Franklin, who is the CEO of the Urban League of Palm Beach County. They're joining me this morning for a very special, and I truly believe historic, announcement. Today, the city of West Palm Beach takes a giant step forward toward becoming a more equitable city and toward becoming truly a community of opportunity for all. A community which enables everyone the opportunity to achieve their dreams. Now, we've all heard the calls for change at the state, national, and even international levels. These calls for change have come in the wake of some horrendous recent events that have ignited outrage, exposed deeply entrenched systemic racism in our country, and has challenged the public's confidence and trust in our system of policing and criminal justice. As much as these incidents have pained us nationwide and right here in our own community, they're also an opportunity, a great opportunity, in fact, I believe. It's an opportunity for us as a city to take a look inwards and to ask ourselves who we are and who we want to be. Right now, we have an opportunity to become an even better version of our collective self. A city where everyone is treated more equitably, particularly in the areas of education, housing, economics, policing, and healthcare. We have an opportunity to do an even better job to ensure that everyone has a voice and that all voices are heard. And finally, we have an opportunity to effect meaningful, transformative change. And we should not squander that opportunity. Looking at these recent calls for change in the context of where we have been and just how far we have come, we are now at an inflection point. This is a moment in time calling on each of us to pick up the mantle of change and move it forward. By executive order, I recently established the Mayor's Task Force for Racial and Ethnic Equality. This is consistent with my vision of West Palm Beach becoming a community of opportunity for all. But why a task force? I believe a task force is important because this is work that must occur over time. It takes more than just one or two conversations. It requires a dedicated group of persons committed to truly understanding who we have been as a city, whether the options are available for us to become better, and then what policies can make us best as a city. So the mission of the task force is to identify and help address issues of racial and ethnic equality through learning about our historic patterns of racial and ethnic inequities, researching of best practices from around the country, and then recommending specific policies to the mayor and commission designed to make us a more equitable city. Now, this task force will be driven by the West Palm Beach community with input from the West Palm Beach community. The task force will consist of up to 17 members, including the two co-chairs who are with me today. Additionally, there will be 5 subcommittees consisting of up to 7 members each. The subcommittees will be fact-finding committees assigned to 5 topic areas. Those areas are criminal justice, healthcare, real estate and housing, finance, banking and industry, and education, including workforce development. I strongly believe that this task force has the ability to create lasting, transformative change in our community today and also for generations to come. To realize the task force's true potential for future impact, it was important for me to ensure that we had the right leadership at the helm of the task force. So today, I am proud to introduce you to 2 individuals who have agreed to join me in leading this initiative, Michelle Diffenderfer and Patrick Franklin, who today I am announcing as the co-chairs of this task force. Brief introduction. Michelle is the former head of the Chamber of Commerce of the Palm Beaches. She is president and a shareholder of Lewis, Longman & Walker Law Firm. Her areas of practice include environmental and natural resources law, governmental law, land use, and real estate law, as well as Native American law. She earned both a Juris Doctor degree and a Bachelor of Arts from Brown University. Patrick Franklin is President and Chief Executive Officer of the Urban League of Palm Beach County, a position he has held for nearly 2 decades. In that capacity, he has helped countless residents of color achieve social and economic equality. Patrick earned his Bachelor of Science in Physics from Southern University in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and he earned his Master in Business Administration from Florida International University. Now, I've known both Michelle and Patrick for years, and as I was contemplating this task force, I spoke to a number of community leaders, and both of their names came up as not only potential members, but as potential chairs of the task force. They both have years of experience, they both have credibility, integrity, and they both possess leadership qualities that are necessary to chair this task force. And I also believe that a task force on racial and ethnic equality should also be led by a team that was in itself diverse in its makeup. Both bring a thoughtful approach to the process to ensure that all persons at the table have a voice in the conversation. And both have responded to my invitation to chair with tremendous enthusiasm, but with an understanding of the weight of the task at hand. I've shared with them that I really want the task force to develop a true appreciation of race relations in our city, to do a deep dive into our city's history in race relations, and to be intentional in conversations and understanding some of our flaws, if you will, when it comes to race relations. But I don't want them to stop there. My hope is that these conversations that they will lead and guide will evolve into discussions about how we can be better and how we can improve as a city in the areas of racial and ethnic relations. Now, I would like to invite each of them to say a few words about next steps, how they see the task force moving forward, and how the public can be involved. We'll start with Michelle. Would you like to say a few words, please?
Thank you, Mayor. Thanks for the introduction and for the opportunity to be a part of this morning's event. Good morning, everyone. We are so appreciative for your presence as we prepare to move forward with the Mayor's Task Force for Racial and Ethnic Equality. When I heard from Mayor James that he and the city were creating this task force, I knew I couldn't say no. In the words of the late Congressman and civil rights leader John Lewis, I'm ready. I'm ready to get into good trouble, necessary trouble for our city. I'm truly honored to have been chosen as a co-chair for this important group alongside Mr. Patrick Franklin. I strongly believe that as community members and business leaders, it is our duty to assist the city in its effort to learn and raise awareness about the history of systemic barriers to racial and ethnic equality in our community. As we embark on this undertaking, this historic undertaking, my objective is to first listen and learn about West Palm Beach's history of racial and ethnic inequality. Once we have gathered this information as a task force, our goal is to then identify the city's current practices, identify areas that need change, and then help the task force as we come to the city with proposed solutions for change. I've been a resident of the city of West Palm Beach for 25 years, half my life now. As an attorney, my career has focused on environmental and land use issues associated with economic development throughout our state. I understand how the legacy of a community's land use decisions creates inequity that still persists today. I have also volunteered through the years to raise awareness on homeless issues, drug and alcohol addiction, and have been a mentor to teenage girls growing up here. Each of these experiences have helped me to see our community through different eyes. I hope that my prior professional and personal experience will serve to guide me as we consider ways the city can do more to ensure racial and ethnic equality in this community. We are excited to get to work with the task force on the goals that have been set forth for us, and I look forward to updating the mayor, the city commission, and the public on our progress. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you so much, Michelle. And now, Patrick, I'll call you to the podium to say a few words.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm excited to join you and Michelle for today's special announcement. Good morning, everyone. This is a special time in not only the city of West Palm Beach, but across this country. We're very excited to kick off this task force because it's needed, it's time. As Mayor James mentioned, my name is Patrick Franklin. I've been the president and CEO of the Urban League of Palm Beach County for almost 20 years now. And the mission of the Urban League is simple: to help African Americans and other minorities achieve social and economic equality. What better way to join the force of the Urban League and what we've done in the past to work on this task force to bring about equality in this environment that we live in today. During my tenure, I've witnessed firsthand the issues presented by racial inequalities throughout the city of West Palm Beach, but throughout our county, throughout this state, throughout this country. And I'm thrilled to say it's time to address these issues. It's the time to resolve the imbalance that we've seen and to bring forth equitable solutions to help us all move forward. We're currently living in a critical opportunity for change across this country. We have a tremendous opportunity to start a new change here. I truly believe that this new movement of change has to start here locally. Nowhere else. It has to start here locally and within this city. I look forward to seeing how this task force identifies significant changes, significant areas that need to be changed. We're going to look at all different areas and make sure that we listen attentively to those who have a voice, our residents here in the city of West Palm Beach, and to offer up those solutions, and to make sure that we don't overlook the obvious, that we actually do something about it. Many of the issues our residents of color, unfortunately, are historic in nature. We realize that. The historical background of racial issues throughout this area is deep, and we understand that. I'm looking forward to listening to our seniors who can bring forth their message and bring forth the information that they hold within their hearts to tell us and how we should move forward. So this is a great time for change. It's a great time for a new beginning in so many areas, and I look forward to working with Michelle, look forward to working with the mayor to bring forth solutions and to do our best to make sure that we lay a foundation that will go forward into the future, that will last on and on, that will give everybody a platform to make changes where they see needed. So I look forward to this, and thank you again, Mayor, for the opportunity.
Thank you, Patrick and Michelle, and I think having heard the two of them talk, you can understand, while it was a very easy decision on my part to ask them to co-chair, Michelle, if I had known that it was so easy to convince you, I would not have sweated so much before I talked to you, but Patrick was a little bit easier to sell. In any event, the kickoff meeting for the 17-member task force will be within the next 2 weeks. The task force will meet as needed and at least monthly. Meetings will be public and held virtually for the duration of the COVID-19 related state of emergency and for so long thereafter as the task force deems practicable. The task force will work to ensure notice of the meetings is received in all of the city's districts in order to encourage public participation. The task force will provide regular status reports to me with their first status report due on or before October 15th. and those reports shall continue until either the task force has completed their projects or on expiration of the executive order, whichever occurs first. And I let both Patrick and Michelle know that I wanted the job done right and not rushed. So I don't want deadlines to be an artificial pressure on them. We'll get status reports. I know they will go about the work of the task force in a very professional, dedicated manner, but I don't want this to be rushed. This is not going to be an easy job, and I think that Patrick and Michelle both understand the gravity of the task that's in front of them. But I know that they will bring to that task the dedication, the professionalism that they've demonstrated in their professional careers up to date, and the task force could not be in better hands. In closing, I want to thank the many West Palm Beach residents and business owners who, since I first announced the task force, have heeded the call to make a difference for their community by stepping forward and volunteering to be a part of the task force. We had over 65 applications or expressions of interest completed for this task force. After first announcing the task force, the phones and emails were constant, and the response has been truly overwhelming. This is indeed an important time in our city's history. Thank you very much, and with that, we will take any questions that you might have.
Concrete policy ideas that you would like to see come out of the task force that you could think of right now?
No, and I made it very clear to both Patrick and Michelle that they can confirm this. I did not place any restrictions on them. I think it was Michelle who said that one of the important things is listening. Patrick alluded to hearing from folks who have lived in this city for years, our seniors. I know they have stories to tell. But it's based upon the history and an understanding of the history that will lead to a discussion of the specific policies and looking at and doing some research on best practices from around the country. But I did not put any restrictions on them. We will let the data, they know they can let the data take them where they need to go from a policy standpoint. Anything else?
Last time we spoke, you were reviewing submissions from the community.
Yes.
Have you finalized that list of final task force members that you would like to be a part of this group?
We have a little bit more tweaking to do, and we will have that finalized within the next couple of days. But we are very, very close. I spent all weekend. It's like putting together a Rubik's Cube because you want the right combination of demographics, whether it's race, gender, ethnicity. And so, but we're very close, and it's going to be a dynamite task force. Trust me on that one. Anything else? Well, thank you all very much for coming and bringing attention to this important date in our city's history. Thank you.